Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Welcome back to another live stream. Today's Monday, January the 5th. Looking at a close-up view of the southeastern limb of the sun. Big sunspots turning towards the earth. We'll come back and take a much closer look at those here in just a moment. But first, the diamonds in the sky. Guys, I didn't know how else to title the video, so that's what we're just going to go with. Diamonds in the sky. That's what people saw, and the video is right here. I've got rogue flashes in the sky with loud booms. I've got diamonds. I've got a very big AZ Watch Woman. What's going on, guys? Pop in to support the channel. Thank you, Wade Woodruff. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. That pushes the video out there farther, please. And I thank you in advance. Yes, in this video, we've got a lot of things to look at. We're going to look at a mysterious light that appeared out of nowhere just a few hours ago above Stockton, California. It had a loud boom, and it wasn't a firework. Looking at the summit of Mount Kilauea, are you serious right now? Looks like a smoldering asteroid or something. Unbelievable. Almost looks otherworldly. That is the summit of Mount Kilauea. Must be cold there or something because I've never seen it steam. It's been like this now for 3 days, just sitting up there, just steaming like it's getting ready to do something. And it very well could be. It's been active since 2018. I've got an update on the ice cube phenomena that we've been seeing. There is a scientific explanation for what's going on. I just don't necessarily know if I believe it, but we're going to go with it anyway. But first, guys, we're going to start off with the diamond in the sky, or the diamonds in the sky. And then you guys are going to see a massive, and I mean really big craft in the sky above California, way up in the sky. And this thing was not an airplane, definitely wasn't a helicopter. And it was the same day that people saw the big object in the sky from Colorado. Coincidentally, it was the same exact day. So here we go, starting off with the diamonds in the sky. And make sure you hit that like button, guys. I appreciate that. I had to turn off the volume on the laptop because the pictures are coming in fast and furious. If you guys have pictures, you can send them in as well to reports at MrMBB333.com. Lori Rivera, not sure of the location. Lori, if you're watching, by all means, send in the location and I'll share it with everybody. But this too occurred on the day of January the 2nd, which was a very busy day. We saw a big object up in New Mexico, Colorado, even as far as Louisville, Kentucky. They saw the vapor trail of this thing. This object here, the diamonds in the sky, as you're going to see here in just about a minute when I zoom in tight and make some adjustments. I don't even need to make adjustments. You can see this thing sitting up there in the sky, and it was just sitting. Looks big. It looks like a row of diamonds in the sky. This is not some hobby drone, I can assure you that. That thing was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 75 feet wide based off of the altitude. It's up there in the 10,000 feet range. It's just sitting there like it was observing something on the ground. Check that out. Trust me, that's not a hobby drone. It's not a helicopter. It wasn't making any sound. It wasn't moving. It was just sitting there. And that's what obviously caught her attention. And she started recording this thing. I don't know where half this stuff comes from sometimes. If you do send something in, please include the location. But there's stuff going on a nightly basis. I mean, people are seeing things in the sky around the world. And it's just simply unexplainable, like this thing here. Look at that. I wasn't kidding when I said diamonds. There they are. And I tried to, take away the light saturation. This is down to a minimum, and they're still diamond shaped. So whatever this was appeared to have diamond shaped lights. It looks like 3, I don't know, possibly 4 at times. Here it is in an inverted format. Light is dark, dark is light. This was what I was trying to do to identify exactly how many lights. A lot of times this will take away there you go, and it will just leave what's actually up in the sky. You basically remove the darkness, okay? There you go. So in this sequence, they appear to be green and purple. But again, these things look pretty big, and they very well could have been. I don't know, it could be just the technique that I'm using. Right there, they're blue in this technique, or kind of a turquoise. So I don't know what the color was exactly on these things. Doesn't really matter. It was a very mysterious object in the sky. Lori Rivera caught this and stopped what she was doing to take this video of something hovering above her community. And again, Lori, if you happen to be watching the video or you watch it later on, just leave a comment, maybe if you would, where you're at, where you saw this thing, because January 2nd was a very busy day or evening and night in the sky. This occurred around, I believe, 8 p.m. or let me see if she sent a time. Yeah, 7:53 p.m. Depending on where she's located. There were a series of events that occurred on January the 2nd. We're going to come back to a video of what exactly occurred here in just a moment, and something else that was spotted above California, a giant craft. This was also spotted above California, a rogue flash with a very loud boom sent in by Elijah. This occurred last night at 9:30 p.m. And he said people were not lighting off fireworks. So what you're about to see shook windows in this neighborhood here. They were watching something on YouTube, and they heard this loud noise outside. So they went to check their security cameras because it shook the windows. And this showed up on their security cameras. Check this out. That was video number 1. Video 2. What in the world? Are you serious? That was picked up on 2 different cameras at their complex. Check this out. Whoa. That is wild. And again, people were not lighting off fireworks. That was the first thing I thought. And here I zoomed in on it right here as it first appeared. See it right there in the upper part of the frame? And there it is. If that would have been some sort of a firework, there would have been a spark, a trail of sparks behind it. You know what I mean? A trail of sparks back here. This thing just appeared, just rogue and randomly, very, very quickly, made some weird noise. Whoa. I'm telling you can't make this stuff up. That was above Stockton, California, less than 24 hours ago, last night. Yeah, unbelievable. Here we go, guys. Here's the sky event from January the 2nd. People saw something in the sky from Colorado, parts of New Mexico, that they just don't normally see rocket launches in these locations. There was something else that occurred also on January 22nd, or January the 2nd. Yishi out of Ignacio, Colorado, saw this in the sky above Colorado. She said they don't see rocket launches up there. It's just not part of their skyline. This was spotted above El Monte, California. Let me turn the volume down just a tad. There's no volume. This thing was way too high. Mom Lisa 100 sent this in. Also from January the 2nd, 4:40 p.m. California time. So I think that would be 5:40, maybe 6:40, I don't know, Colorado time, wherever they saw the rocket. This was within a few minutes of this being spotted in Colorado, probably within an hour. Then this was spotted above California. Check it out. This is the original video at original speed. Are you serious right now? That's moving way too slow to be an airplane. No way. And it had a super long, I mean very long trail behind it. There you can kind of see the trail behind this thing. Doesn't look like an airplane at all. And it goes way, way back. This didn't have any wings or tail fins. I don't know what that thing was. It wasn't a blimp. Obviously it wasn't a helicopter. Again, the same day that people in Colorado and Louisville, Kentucky saw the remnants of something in the sky that was seen above Colorado. Louisville, Kentucky. Almost 2,000 miles away from the coast of California. Okay, here we go. Look at this thing. What is that? What and the trail behind it was unbelievably thick and long, right back there. That's the original speed. That's moving way too slow to be an airplane. Look at that thing. And if it was an airplane, what kind of a plane was it? And this trail goes way, way back. But it was kind of camouflaged by the clouds. That's what I was trying to do. And in this format, you can see the trail a little bit better. Okay, here we go. I think I go to the right, or I pull out. Yeah, and you can kind of see it a little bit better, but it was just it was tough to pull it through the clouds. There we go. Kind of made some modifications, but it went way, way back, much longer than a typical airplane. No way. There's nothing typical about that thing. And they were stunned when they looked up and saw it. They'd never seen anything like it. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Something was going on in the sky January the 2nd. Here's another look at it in a much different format. And in this format here, the body, you know, if it's not too far away and doesn't get too overly pixelated, you can pull forward the features sometimes. You can pull forward a wing or a fin or something like that and identify things. That wasn't the case here. No, this thing was completely unidentifiable. There was just no way. It was big. Spotted above El Monte, California on January the 2nd at 4:40 California time. These were within a few minutes of each other. This thing here was spotted also on January the 2nd. This is a new video out of Utah sent in by Scott. And they don't normally see, you know, if they do, it's rare. You have to be in like western Utah, but they don't normally see rocket launches like this close. Again, January 2nd was a very busy day. That's Utah looking at a rocket launch. Thankful also January the 2nd. This video here was like nearly 4 minutes long, I think. I just super condensed it, put it in fast forward for presentation purposes, but this thing was moving very slow. At one point, when they were watching this thing through the camera, they thought it had stopped and was sitting in the sky. That's how unusual this was. They didn't leave the location, but they're not used to seeing these things in the sky wherever this video was taken. So thank you guys for the videos. And once again, this big object up here above El Monte, California, completely unidentifiable. And it too was spotted on January the 2nd, along with that thing above the sky. And I get it. This thing here looks like a classic rocket launch. I've seen rocket launches, and most of you guys have too. Especially if you live in Florida, the east coast of Florida, or the west coast of California near Vandenberg. But this was not anywhere near the west coast of California. Like I said, the vapor trail of this thing here was spotted in Louisville, Kentucky. 1,900 plus miles away. Very, very bizarre. Here's the original video kind of bouncing around here. I wanted to share this with you. This was the original diamond in the sky thing that was shared with me by Lori. There it is right there. And she stopped what she was doing. I think she was driving her car, pulled over and started recording this thing. There was a highway here. You can see cars going by every once in a while. This was above, right there. There's the highway. She stopped, got out of her car, and started recording. It was that weird. Speaking of weird, I've got more bizarre ice spikes. I know there's a scientific explanation about, you know, the ice freezing, which the water is going to do inside of a freezer. That's what it does. And then it creates, sometimes some of these ice cubes get a little hole on the top, and then there's pressure that builds. Obviously, that's what's going on. There's pressure building, is pushing the water up, but why not on all of them? You know what I mean? Why just, again, rogue and random like this? Why not all of them all the time? That photo was sent in by Kim. This photo here was sent in by Kim. And that's why people are taking pictures of these things. It's because they don't happen all the time. If that was the case, we wouldn't even give these things a second thought. You know what I mean? You wouldn't even be taking pictures. Or, like I said, Leslie sent in this photo here. People are noticing these things now, or have noticed them over the years, but why just one cube? And why was it just pointing up at a slight angle, you know? And the scientific explanation is right here, sent in by Walter. Hey, Polenta, what's going on? Thank you, Polenta, for the super chat. Appreciate that. That's super cool. Polenta is a star family member. Why do ice cubes grow spikes? Quiet story of freezing, pressure, and shape. Talking about the ice cube starting to form. Well, yeah, that's what it does when it's in a freezer. Water turns to solid below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a explanation, but I don't know. It doesn't really resonate with me. Photo here sent in by Quasar out of Ocean Park, Washington. Look at this big one here. Don't know any details behind this. I don't know. That's quite big. Came up out of that bowl, I suppose, according to Quasar. This one here, Rosie out of New York. This is a cup that she put in a freezer, and look what it did. It grew also a tall one inside of a cup. Here's another one, Wendy O. 2. Not 6, 8, or the whole tray, just this one, and then 2 doors down, this one here. And they're almost identical when it comes to size. One's kind of got a little bit of a twist going on. And then this one here, Mike Hamilton. There you go. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And again, just one. Not all of them, just the one. Just weird, guys. Not something you see every day. That's why people are taking the pictures of these things. These here were kind of tall. There was 3 right here in a row. And one of them, oh, this one here was the tall boy. He's standing up nearly 1.5 inches. Look at that guy. John sent that in. Here's another one. Natalie. These were smaller ones out of Toronto. And I think this were the tall. Yeah, these were the tall, narrow ones. These here were like spaghetti. Robin Hoffman sent these in. Just 2, not 6, 8, 10, 3, just 2. Sticking up like a semi-transparent piece of spaghetti. So anyway, there's an update on the mysterious ice spikes. That there is an explanation for them, but again, I don't know. It's weird. Looking at the solar situation right now, we could see an increase in solar activity coming up very, very soon as these giant sunspots are turning towards the Earth, literally, right now as I do this video. Looking at the possible magnetics, if they're beta, gamma, delta, which it's too early to tell. I think this one here, though, is. It's got to have the delta component in order to, I'm talking about a sunspot, has to have delta magnetics in order to produce X-class solar flares. Looking at this one, it's too early to tell, but I'm going to say that's probably got the delta component, so we could see X-class solar flares coming up probably anytime this coming week, because those are turning towards the Earth and will be facing the Earth for at least the next 8 days. Looking at this giant behemoth, this is a coronal hole. It's not necessarily round. It looks like a leg or something up here on the surface of the sun. A big gash that's in the atmosphere. High-speed solar wind is exiting that. And right here in the equatorial region, any high-speed wind coming from here will interact with the Earth. Today's the 5th. More than likely, this will arrive sometime on the 6th, going into the 7th. Just depends on how fast it's moving, but that is a dark gash. That's basically an opening in the atmosphere of the sun. So you're getting raw star power right there, unchallenged by the atmosphere. It's just coming straight off, and equatorially is coming straight at the Earth. So we've got 2 things with regard to the sun: coronal hole and sunspots. So look for solar activity to increase, and with that we could see an increase in earthquake activity. We just exited a full moon, had a little bit of earthquake activity following or just prior to the full moon. Not a big surprise, right? The moon has an impact on the Earth constantly. It's got a hold of the Earth. The moon and the Earth do a cosmic dance, have been since the beginning of time. It controls the tides of the oceans and everything, so yes, it can be influential with regard to earthquakes. And this is a beautiful image of the moon taken by Susan Blankenship out of Carlsbad, New Mexico. Called this the wolf moon, but look at the clarity. Wow, way to go, Susan. That is very impressive. Talk about an alien world. You don't have to look very far if you want to see one, right there in our backyard. Once a month, we see a spectacular view of the full moon. And that is, if you study the moon, it is quite mysterious. So look for an increase in solar activity, guys, coming up here in the next 7 to 8 days. What's happening, Mr. Graham? Have you heard about the oarfish that have been washing up? You know I have, Mr. Graham. And that happens, it seems like, once a year. It happened, I think, last year or the year before, and they are big, otherworldly looking fish. They are, but that's happened before, and it's happening again. So it does happen. Thank you, Graham. Appreciate the heads up on that. Mike Kelly out of Whiteley City. Where is this one at? That was a big cloud looking like it was sitting on the ground. White City, Kentucky. Kentucky in Louisville, they saw the vapor trail of whatever that was in the sky a couple of nights ago. That was quite a stunner. This is out of Croatia. Look at the lightning there. 7 lightning strikes. Michelle and Jonathan out of Florida. Just some unusual looking skies. Matt out of the Florida Keys. Talk about a dynamic halo. This was a full moon from a few months back. Melody, I believe she was out of Florida. Montpelier, Indiana. What an incredible sky there. Night out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. Storm moving through the Wyoming area. Ted Nugent, June. Look at that big anvil cloud. Ivan out of Miami, Florida. More lightning. That was one very large lightning strike that made contact with the ground. Devin out of Utah. That was a solar eclipse from 2024. Wahoo, Hawaii. Burn. Look at that sky. That was a beautiful sunset. Sophia out of Arizona. Thank you, Sophia, for the incredible photos. Listen, guys, if you have any photos you'd like to share, here's how you do it. Come over here to the homepage of the website, MrMBB333.com. Look for this banner right here that says reports at MrMBB333.com. That's the email. If you have pictures you can send, they always attach to the email pretty effortlessly. But sometimes, for whatever reason, a video may or may not attach to the email. It just depends on the email provider and how big your video may be. But to eliminate any of that possible snafus, click on this tab right here. This is a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos in here, but please include your first name, date, and location. Location's important. I like to give you guys shout outs for your photos and videos, but if I don't know the location, it makes it kind of tough. So at the top of your video and photo, name, date, and location. First name's fine, and if you just want to put your state or country even, that's cool too. We're not up here trying to harvest data. We're just trying to give people shout outs and recognition for these very cool photos and videos. Alex out of Bendigo, Australia. Big, fascinating. Look at the intensity of that gigantic halo above Australia. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming. All right, guys, well, that's all I've got today. Thanks for spending part of your Monday with me. We'll see if 2026 is anything like 2025. Let's see how fast Friday gets here. It's Monday the 5th. Friday will probably be here, if it's anything like 2025, in the blink of an eye. All right, guys, thanks again for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.